Awaken. Betrayer. Awaken.
Watawama muliri kin kun chopeshwa no bamule raji jone yuturi yanchi either.
Calm yourself, Shahnameh. You are still within the Temple of Shadow.
Ni bajoni yola wish.
I have restrained you using the Force. I assure you, Shahnameh, it will be for your own good. They are safe, they are secure. Search your feelings, Shahnameh, and you will realize that I have no reason to deceive you. I speak only truth. And truth, it seems, may be the only thing left of significance in what was once a promising life. You could have become so much, yet you became so little. You have no individuality, you have no identity, and any indication you have of free will is an illusion.
Ni bajoni yola wish.
Was it your own choice to become this tool of war? Was it your own choice to follow Revan to the Mandalorian Wars and beyond? To forsake and sacrifice everything of significance in your life, including your very identity?
Wanga kumkiba bu mulera kakin chak nawagawa bakon.
But was it fate? Was it your own choice? No, you did not choose. You were chosen. It was all a manipulation which thrust you towards war, a manipulation which provoked your betrayal, and a manipulation that compelled you to sacrifice everything for a cause that wasn't even your own.
Kipuna na bonsha. Kavadumpa kupaliaya mokapata.
Tell me, are you familiar with force bonding? It was not a concept we had covered in great depth, as I preferred to keep my tutelage focused on the arts of combat. Tell me, in your own words, what is your purpose?
Kakin cha na kwat na bonkon. Wanakumbes chi pala mulak tongki pa nagnonek.
Did you never wonder why so many Jedi chose to follow Revan into darkness? Revan used what was possible with Force bonding as a means to inspire loyalty in those Jedi. A loyalty towards battle, a loyalty towards the dark side. Understand that to use Force bonding to manipulate others is no easy task, even for one as powerful as Revan. To master, it requires a great commitment of time, patience, and a willing subject.
Bona na kachu, donk ki ba nukunek, tonga boksha nagnong.
Yes, whatever its limitations, whatever its strengths, whatever its weaknesses, you suffered from all. The Force bond that Revan created between you, it became itself so central to your life that you became completely dependent on its continued existence to retain stability. And when Revan was incapacitated and the bond was suddenly broken, the shock of its loss was a horror beyond your ability to withstand. You could not grasp the concept of existing again as an individual, and so you lost consciousness. In truth, it should have killed you.
Chika don mulaka watayumaka wamahona nek. Ashantington unumani patoka.
You were a test subject, and those were merely some of its consequences. Betrayal is the way of the Sith. In you, Revan had found a servant who would always be loyal. Do you remember, Shahnameh? The field of battle, the screams, the explosions, the death.
And at last, you saw.
Wangakun bestopi ki kunyana. Tong patok smaktelia, uba batu konchi. Tong nongbong shang nungyang. Tong patok smaktelia. Jawana bota ayuat tahonga cha kanki dora. Kachi kuita hodonga. Yatuka ulwan kinkuna ba murira. Rachikun. Mucha shakpangpa.
I need a vacation.
Mucho hapanki.
We itha nadana itya.
Daemon Drexl. What is this? Some sort of reunion? Mechanique, what are you doing here?
Pamuli slemo podawanga kun bes mulira rabest.
Aren't you supposed to be on the Orion, doing what mechanics do and fixing things?
Yin kin kun no ba mulira chinkun. Tong hait tun kun ching. Ni bobo jimata, ni punaje. Dolpi kiknyunyan.
Verbal?
Takum justak miki grabel mogo. Kachi chu ay thaudonga. Tulpada bonk molya gando danago chuchut. We itha na dana itya. Tonga bugsham uninong.
Last thing I remember, she was confronting Solomon. This Jedi, this Solomon, I don't like him. He knows more about me than he has any right to.
Tong patok smaktelia.
Just shut up and listen for a moment. Daemon Drexl, this place, whilst it's in one piece, is a threat to us all. To Mechanique, to you, to me, to Sarah. It needs to be destroyed. Detonate the explosives. That's all I ask of you. That's all I ask.
Topada bunkwalya gando donago chuchut. Musha papangpa bolawana chikne.
Patoga ya fulki.
Wanga kun bes dobiki kunyana.
Chipedwana ni bobo. Tonk nabung shanun yang. Tonk patoga smaktelia. Tonga bug sham uninong.
And don't forget Sarah Dagana. She saved my neck more than a few times on the Orion, and now it's time for me to repay the favor. And who is this Solomon guy? And why does he have such an interest in Sarah Dagana?
We itha nadana itya. Wata yumakawama huhanik. Ashongturong unipatoga. Wana kun bes ching pala multongi. Lapti no gudu niba. Chipikasa. Topa yumapase. Unjone jiyukulawish.
Tiska du suki kumpa na bona na gachu. Ag tuin kotu. Topada bunkwalya gando nago chuchut.
No, you can't.
Nek chicho na chupa.
Damn it.
King Lorda Aithakun.
La boda ni winki smak toma. Tok ching bang non kek. Jawana bota ayuat tahonga cha kanki dora. Kachi kuita hodonga. Topada bunkwalya gando do nago chuchut.
Kichun shishineng.
Tong nongbong shang nungyang. Tong patok smaktelia.
Kavavolpa multi kumuna.
Jawana bota ayuat tahonga cha kanki dora. Kachi kuita hodonga. Topada bunkwalya gando do nago chuchut. Muksha papangpa bolawana chikne. Pamuli slemo podawanga kun bes mulira rabest. Kuyami juskuna chiktanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Mundi hodonga chihonkabi.
Shagji locha wana wama?
Tiska du suki kumpa na bona na gachu. Ag tuin kotu. Topada bunkwalya gando nago chuchut. Kabachi kuita hodonga. Yalamo inkapun. Jiloba mulira ni bobo. Wango kumbes gang. Ba mama rulira. Tuk ninja mulira rabes. Yatuka ulwan kinkuna ba mulira. Rachikun. Mucha shampampa. Uba batu konchi.
Wana monkus bes chingapula mululang.
Kuyami juskuna chiktanai. Ina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Mundi hodonga chihonkabi. Jawana bota ayuat tahonga cha kanki dora. Kachi kuita hodonga. Topada bunkwalya gando do nago chuchut. Muksha papangpa bolawana chikne. Tong nongbong shang nungyang. Tong patok smaktelia. Pamuli slemo podawanga kun bes mulira rabest.
Chanchak pulara.
Ocho apanki. Wanga kun bes dobiki kunyana. La boda ni winki smak toma. Wana kun bes chingpa marulira. Tok chingbang non kek. Tok ninja mulira rabes.
Oh, sure, for you maybe. Don't you forget, the only reason you're captain is because everyone else on the ship was a corpse.
Wanga kun bes dobiki kunyana. Tong patok smaktelia.
Oh, so it's like that, is it? I don't care about your stupid treasure, Hanik. I'm here for Sarah. I'm here to rescue her, and I'm going to do just that.
Tong nongbong shang nungyang. Tong patok smaktelia.
You got what? You've got what? You were carrying explosives all this time?
No pale mulira chikun.
Verbal? No, you can't.
Master,
you'd be destroyed, and without your memory core, I wouldn't be able to rebuild you. That's great. We can destroy this chamber. We can destroy the Brotherhood of Shadow. Mechanique, you just gave me an idea. Now hurry up and release us. After you've spent a few nights in a prison cell next to what remains of the last guy who made your mistake, you'll learn a thing or two about the importance of having a backup plan if things don't go your way. So what is our next move? Where do we go from here? Don't worry. I have no plans on leaving Sarah Dagana in this place by herself, and intend to do whatever I can to rescue her. That I can promise you. Make sure you grab your gear before we head out. It's bound to be around here somewhere. I knew you could make it here. Guess I was right. Verbal!
Master.
Access the terminal. What are you so afraid of, Mechanique? Don't you remember all those adventures we had on the Orion? Don't you remember how many times we got ourselves in and out of situations like this? Hurry, we haven't got much time. And don't forget Sarah Dagana. We have to crash Solomon's party.
This is Admiral Carthel Nassi of the Republic Cruiser Sojourn.
Admiral, this is Mikal. But there is something more at work here. I do not know who has taken them. If we were to find them, perhaps I could help you find the answers you need. I had not truly believed Bastila's battle meditation until I had seen it in action. I think she may be a means by which we can track down the Sith. I suppose such a thing is possible. The ability to touch the minds of others, to demoralize or inspire them. That bonding is said to also be something that manifests itself in such techniques. It is time for us to return to Dantooine. That may shed some light on things to come.
Like I said, we'll talk more when I arrive.
Mikal out.
I know how this works. A mercenary or two can easily get work during the dry times as a bounty hunter or bodyguard. There's always odd jobs around, but large mercenary groups have to wait for things to get interesting to make their credits.
There are few who would discuss such things with an assassination droid, and that is perfectly understandable.
I've fought countless battles, ones most didn't walk away from. The wounds add up, and even the implants are all that keep me going sometimes. So you fought against the Mandalorians in the war.
Statement. Who deserved what and why is of no consequence. It is only killing a target and how it is done that matters. Besides, I'm still evaluating your tactical and psychological threat to me.
I may have been stronger in my youth, and stupider, but now I've got to rely more on my armor, my weapons, and my cunning.
You see, part of the reason an assassin droid is so effective is because it is a droid. Meatbags tend not to notice us. We are treated as furnishings.
Ah, there's my favorite protocol droid. Oh, I suppose you earned it. Very well. But Goto's still my boss. Before you say anything, yes, I will arrange the meeting with Goto. This exchange bounty has nothing to do with you. But Goto doesn't allow breaks in the chain of command. But if you insist, I suppose. You don't need my approval for that.
Anyway, as I was saying, droids tend to blend into the background, like a bench or a card table.
For the time being, the Zerka offices have been taken over by the mercenaries under our employ.
The Gino Haradan are no concern of yours.
I will accompany you.
I've got some more work for you, if you're up for it.
Part of the lullaby function comes when the furnishings pull out Tabana-powered rifles and point them at the owner's heads.
Who are you? You're not supposed to be here.
Help! We're under attack!
Mockery. Droid, fetch this. Droid, Translate that.
What are you doing out here? You're not supposed to leave the mainframe. I think someone needs a memory wipe. What the?
Juhani and Jolie would not...
I do not know. I do not know who has taken them. I'm sorry. I wish I could tell you more.
We should have felt a disturbance in the Force when the attack came. The fact that we did not is a bad sign.
I see.
In any case, we've lost our one place of refuge.
There are others who need to know you. Telos needs you. The planet and all its people are in danger if we do not stop the Sith now.
Be careful. I fear the dark side is growing stronger, casting shadows our vision cannot pierce.
The Jedi are a symbol. As much damage as their reputation took during the Sith War and the Jedi Civil War, there are still many to whom they serve as an example. But the reason the Jedi Civil War was named such was because few in the galaxy can recognize the difference between the Sith and the Jedi. To them, they are both Jedi, with different philosophies. And the remaining Sith turned on each other. While it is said that Revan and several Republic heroes and Jedi defeated Malak, in many ways Malak had already won. The war was costly, and it shattered the Republic. In time, the Republic might recover. There was a pattern to Revan's attacks during the Jedi Civil War. He sought to convert Jedi, not kill them. I am not sure that he intended to conquer. I think he was trying to do something else. And that concerns me.
T3, just make sure the Hawk is ready to fly.
Korriban is a desolate world with a deep connection to the Sith. I can't say I'm happy to be back here, but I believe we can do what must be done. Revan used it as a training academy during the Civil War. Only a complete fool would have allowed an enemy training base to continue operating. The Republic must have dealt with the academy after the war. It's been shut down tight for months now. If they destroy the Jedi, my people will be eradicated or enslaved.
I don't know. The vision of our future is clouded by shadows cast from the dark side.
No, you're correct. The pattern ends with Malak. At that point, worlds die indiscriminately.
Juhani.
And now she is dead.
Is there no end to the killing?
Taris, Dantooine.
Come on, let's keep moving.
Jedi.
Come, it is this way.
Confused query. Where are you going? Threat?
Let's make this quick.
I'll take care of this.
Very well.
That ought to shut them up.
Ah, yes, them.
They are programmed to obey their master, and there may be others. Just make sure the Hawk is ready to fly when we get there.
You smell that? It's the scent of death and overpopulated beasts coming from that cave.
The valley we just came from was full of dark energy, but this cave is darker still.
I can feel it.
This looks like a trap if ever I've seen one.
There is an old evil here that permeates the Force.
Someone is creating an echo, a resonance in the Force.
We don't even have a plan to get out of this mess yet.
More Jedi tricks. I know the dark side when I feel it. I'm not going to be able to pass here.
It's a wall of the dark force. I am not strong enough to go through. An old Jedi trick, but effective. I will understand if you feel you must go alone, but I ask that you do not.
Maybe you're right.
I must leave you for a time to gather my Mandalorian warriors.
Let us wait until we have dealt with our enemies.
I would hardly call the mercenaries that were here Mandalorians. I'm gonna take a look around. I'll soften up the way for you, but I won't be here to hold your hand.
All right. I'll return and await the next transport. Find me there if you change your mind.
Coward.
I'm trying to save the Republic. Dantooine and the Jedi Order are instrumental to that effort.
Right.
The Republic is in need of change. I do not deny it. But I do not believe it deserves death. Or worse.
Fair enough. But let me share some of my opinions. The Republic is a stagnant beast that had been killing its people for years before the wars began. Were it not for Revan's strength, the Republic would already be dead. Only Revan was worthy of our respect.
Revan was brought before the Jedi Council and put on trial. As I understand it, they were able to convince Revan to have a change of heart. Revan helped the Republic defeat Malak. Perhaps in his conversation with the Jedi Masters, they were able to convince him of the rightfulness of their actions.
If you say so.
Is there some problem? I was only offering to help.
Fair enough. I should stay here, though. In any case, I won't trouble you with this anymore.
As you wish. I hope I did not offend you in some way.
Mandalore, we've made contact with the enemy. All right, wait for my signal. Hold your position. I'll have to be the rear guard for this campaign. Watch yourself.
I could not just let you die, Revan, not if it was possible to save you.
Awaken. Awaken.
Then, at last, it is time. The Korriban wastes, they are known and feared as wastelands of death, yet I've found a certain tranquility here that seems absent from the rest of this graveyard world. It has an individuality, almost an identity of its own. Fitting, then, that our reunion has taken place here. An ancient structure from an age ago that was built to house what remained of the Brotherhood of Shadow. I have waited so long for this day. My mind and my body are prepared to face you, to defeat you. And now the two of us finally have come face to face without distraction. Welcome, Revan. Welcome to the Chamber of Shadow. Tragic, isn't she? Having already been weakened as a result of the ritual process, she was not in the best of conditions to learn of the truth behind your grand manipulation of her. Broken by these revelations, she has since been consumed by the dark side energies that infest this chamber. I doubt anyone, least of all you, will be able to reach her through the hatred and self-loathing I sense she now feels. Yes, yet that destiny, the destiny she had trained all her life to meet, was not to be. She was deceived, manipulated, and then shaped into a tool of war by a force beyond her understanding. This woman, she once had a name. Shana May. Surely you must have known that this confrontation was inevitable. It was a judgment decided when you chose to destroy the woman who was once my Padawan. Within you, Revan, and Shana May are the remains of the spirits trapped within. Do not underestimate her usefulness. Like you, she is an essential part of the resurrection process. This is the temple's main chamber, where the focal point for the Brotherhood of Shadow's scattered power is situated. And the Brotherhood of Shadow are the key to attaining that revenge. I will revive them, and I will use them as tools to destroy you. The same Shauna May who you, Revan, stripped of her history, her culture, her identity. The same Shauna May who you, Revan, transformed into an instrument of your will. The same Shauna May who you, Revan, stole from me. I can defeat you. I will defeat you. I swore a promise to deliver justice to the one who you abandoned, and I intend to keep that promise. To destroy you and all the depravities that your manipulations have spawned. It is a calling that drives me. It is a calling that has empowered me, and it is a calling that will serve to vindicate me for my failure at Terrace. To destroy you, Revan, it will be my revenge. No, I am an individual with an identity to call my own. I am Darius Solomon, Ichani Battle Master, Jedi Master. My actions here are virtuous. I sought to avenge the woman who was manipulated, stolen from me, and then turned against me. Once I was a revered member of the Jedi Order that died, only to be born anew, a greater being. When I fought and defeated Shauna May during what is now called the Second Battle of Terrace, I made the mistake of underestimating the ferocity of the retreating Mandalorians. When they destroyed the walkway beneath my feet, I plunged into the darkness, leaving everything of significance behind forever. When I awoke, I was defeated. I was broken. I was alone. Trapped beneath what seemed like a mountain of rubble, I was forced to enter into a meditation to slowly heal my broken body. In this slumber, I became unaware of the events that transpired in the galaxy around me. Yet sometimes I caught a fleeting glimpse of my former Padawan's mind, as if some remnants of the bond we shared still existed. It was these glimpses that allowed me to piece together the truth behind her betrayal. When my body was finally healed, I awoke from my meditations with the strength to free myself from my makeshift tomb. The galaxy around me had become a very different place. What was once Jedi was now Sith, and already had they turned on one another. I began my search for the being that was once Shauna May, because I knew that out of anyone, it was she who could lead me to you, Revan. I somehow knew you were still alive, and I was right. I needed something to coax Shauna May, and by extension, you out of hiding. I am a man who desires his revenge. Nothing more, yet nothing less. The process has begun. The Brotherhood of Shadow's power is being transferred to my body. Soon I will have what I need to finally attain vengeance. A woman who was twisted from an individual full of life into nothing more than a tool of war. That woman, the child I raised, deserves vengeance. And since she is no more, I am the only one who can deliver her this justice. She was once my pupil, my protege. I rescued her from a life of insignificance and then gave her calling, a purpose. Many years did she spend under my tutelage, learning, training, and honing the skills that would see her through any trials that life would pose to her. She was once on a path that would have shaped her into a mighty warrior, fit to be called a living embodiment of what my people, the Ichani, embrace as principle, as tradition. I have learned much of the Brotherhood of Shadow from the artifact's remains and the writings within this temple. The ritual I have performed on each of you, its purpose was to siphon the remnants from within you and allow them to be reunited. The Brotherhood of Shadow was a faction within the Sith that originates from ancient times, when the Sith themselves were an actual species rather than merely an ideological view held by the corrupt. During an invasion of Korriban by an advanced race of aliens who referred to themselves as the Infinite Empire was what ultimately brought about a victory for the Sith, despite the Infinite Empire's greater numbers and advanced technologies. Akira Khan Sin was the Sith who led the Brotherhood of Shadow, a faction of warriors and assassins who pioneered the strategies and tactics which ultimately defeated Korriban's alien invaders. The ancient Sith were once ruled by a single man, a wise and powerful king named Addis. Under his rule, the Sith were a prosperous and honorable species who had ambitions to expand their influence across the stars to create a galactic society based on principles not too dissimilar from the Ichanis. But these ambitions were quashed after Addis sacrificed himself to save his people from the enslavement of the Infinite Empire. Addis's Sith believed him to be immortal and that his rule would thus be eternal. When Addis was killed, they were unprepared to deal with the vacuum of power that was created. At first, it was assumed that Addis's advisors, the Sith King's proclaimed successors, would be the ones to lead the Sith into the future, to claim the riches of an unknown galaxy, using the technology they had acquired from the Infinite Empire. When the Infinite Empire invaded Korriban, it was clear to Akira Khan Sin that they would never be victorious if the war was fought using an approach that relied solely upon brute force. Thus, the Brotherhood of Shadow was born, a sect of elite Sith warriors that chose to forsake the individualistic nature of their species and see themselves as a single entity, an entity that answered only to the Sith King. Whilst the Sith King's armies weathered the wrath of the Infinite Empire, it was the Brotherhood of Shadow that covertly waged a silent war behind the enemy's own lines, decimating its tactical and strategical competence by assassinating the key military figures responsible for coordinating the planetary invasion of Korriban. The repercussions of this silent war were soon felt as the Infinite Empire's armies began to collapse upon themselves in the absence of an effective command. Whilst personally leading the armies which bore the full might of the Infinite Empire, Addis, the king of the Sith, was killed. A dying King Addis entrusted the burden of kingship to be spread amongst his most trusted of advisors, proclaiming them the rightful successors to his rule. This move angered Akira Khan Sin, who believed himself to be the one worthy of leading the Sith peoples. And so he betrayed Addis's designated successors in an effort to install himself and his sect of assassins as the unchallenged rulers of the Sith peoples. Ultimately, the Brotherhood of Shadow was defeated and their insurrection quashed. After his insurrection was stopped, the rightful rulers of the Sith designated that Akira Khan Sin and his Brotherhood of Shadow be condemned to imprisonment within the Infinite Empire's artifact. Upon the stolen Republic ship you know as the Orion, one of those crew members was a female Twi'lek named Sarah Degana. Sarah Degana is an anagram of Anagan Eris, an ancient Ichani queen that is said to be the one most responsible for modern-day Ichani culture. At the height of a rule which saw significant cultural expansion, she was betrayed by those closest to her and banished from Ichani territories to live the rest of her life on foreign worlds. Shahnameh, although not Ichani by birth, was considered to be one in spirit, and thus was well versed in the culture and histories of my people. Although I find it curious as to why she chose that as her alias. After Terrace, I was under the impression that she cared little for her people's culture anymore. The artifact itself was a crude device, not suited to harboring beings who wielded power on the scale of the Brotherhood of Shadow. I suspect as generations passed, Akira Khan Sin had learned how to interfere with the workings of the artifact from within, allowing him to gradually impose his will upon the great void that imprisoned him. But considering his physical body had long since been destroyed, he was unable to escape the artifact, only managing to project himself as a specter into our reality when an individual was foolish enough to tamper with the artifact. And even then, in our world, without the power of the artifact to provide for him, his spirit would have to leech from the life force of the living to fuel and maintain his presence here. All that remains is to find a means to exercise that power. The focal point is this very chamber, the heart of the Temple of Shadow. The spirits of these ancient warriors would have to assume control of actual living people. But the true difficulty lies not with simply finding a host, but rather with finding a suitable host. In life, Akira Kansin was a powerful being, and so requires the body of an equally powerful subject. In his eyes, you would have seemed the most suitable of subjects to serve as the physical body for the Brotherhood of Shadow. And only one, the dominant will, may exercise that power. When the Brotherhood of Shadow is introduced to a new host, the existing dominant will of the Brotherhood must confront and defeat the will of this host. The victor is granted the Brotherhood of Shadow's power, yet also suffers a loss of identity when they become its personification. Shauna May, once an individual with an identity to call her own, now nothing but a hollow shell, yet she can still be salvaged of use. She will become the Brotherhood of Shadow's host when the reunited essence of the Brotherhood is introduced to her body. Her hate-filled spirit will gradually be consumed by Akira Kansin, the dominant will. Yet the power traditionally wielded by that dominant will shall no longer be theirs to grasp when they have fully consumed the spirit of their new host. Instead, through the forced bond of master and apprentice, that power will be transferred to me. I will claim the Brotherhood of Shadow's power, yet I will not become their personification. I will retain my identity. I will remain Darius Solomon.
What greater weapon is there than to use their own knowledge against them?
It is, as they say, Revan, an eye for an eye. Prepare yourself.
You know you cannot win. And of course you must be willing to die, to kill us all. If so, then do it, for you have already failed me.
Self-destruct sequence activated. 5 seconds to destruct.
Watayuma kawama huhanik. Ashongturong unipatoga. Wanakun bes ching palamur tonki. Haku chekopa. Bamulara. Chino mulira king pajak. Slimo puedo ana.
Crap.
Korriban is a sparsely populated planet controlled by the Sith. It feels wrong. is this?
Join us. If you cannot examine your life and your choices, then you are weaker than I thought. Come stand with me. We will use our might to help the Republic in its time of need.
I can't. Malak will...
Join Revan and I. Together, we will battle this menace.
Why didn't you try to help them? I was still an apprentice. My battle meditation hadn't even manifested itself. Yet even then I had the wisdom to obey.
The Jedi Council is wise, but can make mistakes. History has proven this, time and time again. But the war is real. The suffering is real. The death toll the Mandalorians inflict are all very real. The Mandalorians must be stopped. And if the war ends with their defeat, then anything else is a small price to pay. I am proud that Revan and I will be taking up our lightsabers for the good of the Republic, without the blessings of the Council.
The Jedi Council has failed. How can you say that? Had the Council sent us all into the unknown, how many more would have fallen?
Do not heed the words of the Jedi Council. The Republic will fall if we do not act now.
There was something lurking out there. Something that devoured Revan and Malak, and many other Jedi. And the Republic chose to walk the easy path, rather than the path of wisdom. Now we see the results all around us.
Already the Mandalorians have taken 3 systems along the Rim. They will only grow more powerful with time. You have learned much. You no longer need to obey their hollow teachings. It was within our power to end the war, and the Council chose to debate behind closed doors, while planets burned.
If Revan had only listened to the Council, millions of innocent people would still be alive.
Their vaunted wisdom bred only in action, and that would have led to destruction greater than anything born of the dark side. All life is a test, and sometimes the student can be a teacher too. You know it, even now. Are you so certain? Every step along the way, we did what we thought was right. Perhaps the same path lays before you. More power than the Jedi can ever offer you.
You asked me if I think things could have been different. I know they could have.
So, if you could do it all again, the real question is, would you? You know how this turns out. Would you do it any different, knowing what it costs you, knowing what it costs the rest? And now you are all alone. Soon you will see things my way.
In time we would have aided you against the Mandalorians, but you couldn't wait.
There is much ambition and pride in you. I sense given the chance you may have followed me on the entire journey.
I know if I'd been in that position I would not have betrayed the Order and the Republic.
You would fight your fate, Jedi? Violence before reason. Excellent.
The ancient Sith destroyed each other. The fundamental flaw in their philosophy, one would think. Karth, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, Dustle. I did all I could, and I failed you.
Jedi.
What?
Jedi. Jedi. You have done well. All is as I have foreseen.
What is this?
Save your questions. I am not here, not in the flesh, not in your mind. These holocrons hold much of the Sith, and they hold much of my teachings from long ago. I do this so that I might center myself, listen to the currents of the galaxy, Only then shall you be ready for your final test. If not, then you shall die.
No, I am not strong enough.
Your thoughts are disturbed. I can feel them like a shiver running through you. You know why he has come here, but you have much yet to learn. And great tests await you. The death of the past, the death of this false Jedi was only part of it. You must confront him. He is part of the past, and like this false Jedi, must be laid to rest. You know where the final test lies. You have always known.
Revan? No time to talk. We need to rescue Sarah Dagana.
I will stay. This doesn't look like a very pleasant place to be imprisoned in.
You are stronger than I had anticipated, but not strong enough. You will fall. It is inevitable.
What has Solomon done to her? Sarah Dagana, come on, girl, answer me. Look at me, anything. You gotta wake up. You gotta break the bond. I know you can do it. I know you can beat this thing. You can still fight. I saw that on the Orion. I see it now. The truth is, I know what it's like to lose everything too. I was once a different Kobayashi. I was once a Jedi. Look into yourself, past the hatred, past the lies. Don't you see? We're the same. We're the same.
No. The connections have been broken prematurely. The Brotherhood of Shadow can no longer claim its host, and I can no longer claim their power. My power. Oh!
Solomon, is he dead? Hey, well, don't mention it. We still have the Brotherhood of Shadow to worry about. That's great. We can destroy this chamber. To be honest with you, I'm still trying to figure out how I actually got through to you. It's been a long time since I felt the Force strongly enough to actually do anything with it. I can't say I've heard the term, but I was never the best Jedi. My master was a great woman, a bit like you in more than a few ways. Stubborn, but a great warrior. But they say a Jedi's life is sacrifice, and my master's was no exception. She lost her life one day as we fought to defend a settlement from a pirate raid on some obscure planet you've probably never heard of in the Outer Rim. I failed her because the Force failed me. It turned away from me, so I returned the favor. I was all alone. I was captured by the pirates who had slaughtered my master and too stricken with grief to do anything about it. I figured it was all over. But then he came, my savior, the man who I owe my life, Daemon Drexl. If I can get in contact with him...
Randi Ichawa Tongbola Johnny Ku.
What do you mean? I guess I shouldn't be surprised. Considering you are the former Dark Lord of the Sith, don't take it too personal if I don't completely trust you, okay? But one thing's for certain, we can't let Solomon resurrect this Brotherhood of Shadow. I won't allow what happened on the Orion to be repeated.
Yikukuno no ba mulira tikun. Takom justach miki grabalmogo.
And for what it's worth, may the Force be with you.
You are greater than any I have ever trained. Yet I will gift you with this. You will remember what you have discovered when the time is correct.
Ina kun mama rulira rachikun slimo padona. Gundi hadonga chihonkabi. Chiska du suki kumpa nabona naikachu agtuinkotu.
What do you mean?
Topada bunkwalya gandonago chuchut. Kabachi kuita hadonga. Yalamo inkapun.
What about you? You're a mechanic, aren't you?
Wango kumbeska gang ba mama rulira.
Takom justach Miki Grabarmogo.
Ni bajoni yo la wish.
Tom nombong shang nungyang. Tom patok smakdelia.
I will stay. I shall be the one to detonate the thermal charges.
Verbal? No, you can't. No, there has to be another way. Nobody has to die, not here. Not after all we've been through.
Master, I am a droid. Model S0Z3. A non-organic machine composed of steel and wiring. You're a living being, with a life of significance and fulfillment ahead of you. It is a harsh truth for me to accept, but your existence is more important than mine.
Damn it.
To allow you to position yourself outside of the blast radius, I will deliver a countdown of 5.0 seconds before I detonate the explosives. I assume this will allow you to escape before you are disintegrated? Master, despite your imperfections and flaws, I have found you to be an insightful character. You must keep yourself functional, at all costs.
Thank you, Verbal. Thank you for everything. I'll never forget you, that I can promise you.
Orion Mechanic, as per my master's request, I shall detonate the explosives. Do you wish that I detonate the explosives now?
Mucha champampa.
Honestly, Orion Mechanic, I would choose to detonate them now. All this waiting, it is hardly the most efficient use of what little time we have left.
Verbal.
Kun Kili no Ba!
Shadow, grant me your power. Use my body to do what I alone could not.
Mana tota hakuji krala bolaji chok shantang.
Donkin pano kunnek. Kawana boda ayua tagwa KOTOR. Shakchi king watawama mulira. Donghait eldas wamachi. Noba mulara. Chilai kunka. Chisco. Yoho kava nobis duula.
Pudu. Tunirama na praka donko searcha. Chupapanki.
Diman, Yuma live bahakin KOTOR.
No bamule raji.
Uba batu konchi, yutuka halwa. Kuya mi juice, kuchitanai. Jiyoka yo. Donghait eldas wamaji. Chekopa muska. Jika chipa akin KOTOR. Donkin pano kunnek.
Pamule slimo podadada nanga kumbist mule rabest.
Batisa noba mulara. Jilai kunka. Yuma live akin KOTOR. Din kuya. Jika chip diman. Patoga ya fulki kokola jiji. Donkin pano kunnek. Yuma liba ak inkokun. Jobasu, donkin pano kunnek. Tongheit Eldas Wamaji. Tongheit Sax Wamaji. Yuma Litba ak Inkokun. Chiska Tosuki Kupan Bona Nai Kachu. Tonkin Pano Kunnek. Chiska Tosuki Kupan Bona Nai Kachu. Tongheit Eldas Wamaji.
Yinkin Kunoba, Molerachi Kon, Tonghai Tung Kon Ching, Ne Bobo Jemata, Ne Pong Nash, Achuta, Wanga Kumbis, Dolpeki Kunyana.
Uba Batu Konchi, Yutuka Halwa, Kuya Mi Juice, Kuchitanai.
Rondi Haldonga Kuhongavi, Wala Kumbes.
King Kun Jope Shock, Uba Batu Gonchi, Yutuka Luan, Ajua Binki. Uba Batu Gonchi, Yutuka Luan, Kuyami Juice, Kuchitanai, Yutuka Luan, Tonghait Eldas Wamaji, King Kun Jope Shock, Smilia, Tonghait Sax Wamaji, Yuma Litba Ak Inkokun.
Shabasu, Hichu and Pinky, King Kun Jope Shock. Chora Mulira, King Bano Kunnek Lorder.
Shabasu, Don King Bano Kunnek.
King Kun Jope Shock. Uba Batu Konchi, Yutuka Luan.
Yutuka Luan. Tonghait Eldas Wamaji, Ichuta. Tonghait Wamaji Ak Inkokun.
Ichuta. Tonghait Wamaji Ak Inkokun. King Kun Jope Shock.
Shabasu, Don King Bano Kunnek. Tonghait Eldas Wamaji, Yutuka Luan. Tonghait Eldas Wamaji, King Kun Jope Shock, Smilia, Tonghait Sax Wamaji, Yuma Litba Ak Inkokun.
Shabasu, Don King Bano Kunnek.
Shakti King Watawama Mulira, Yuma Litba Ak Inkokun. Ka Wanabota, Ayua Tagwa Kenki Dora, Din Kuin Kuya, Yika Chitiman.
Don King Bano Kunnek. King Kun Jope Shock.
Shabasu, Don King Bano Kunnek. Shabasu, Hichu and Pinky, King Kun Jope Shock, Labora ni Winky, Smatoma. Ka Wanabota, Ayua Tagwa Kenki Dora.
Labora ni Winky, Smatoma. Ka Wanabota, Ayua Tagwa Kenki Dora.
Yutuka Luan. Tonghait Eldas Wamaji. Shabasu, Don King Bano Kunnek, Din Kuin Kuya. Yika Chitiman.
Shabasu, Don King Bano Kunnek. Tonghait Eldas Wamaji. Ichuta. Tonghait Wamaji Ak Inkokun. King Kun Jope Shock. Tonghait Sax Wamaji. Yuma Litba Ak Inkokun. Chiska Tosuki Kupan Bona Nai Kachu.
Uba Batu Konchi, Yutuka Luan.
Din Kuin Kuya. Yika Chitiman. Patoga, ya Fulki Kokola Chichi. Shabasu, Don King Bano Kunnek.
Ichuta. Tonghait Wamaji Ak Inkokun. King Kun Jope Shock.
Ichuta. Tonghait Wamaji Ak Inkokun. King Kun Jope Shock.
Shakti King Watawama Mulira. Yuma Litba Ak Inkokun. Dahuba Botenya Go Juju Biti. Just Krokito Patslimo. Dahuba Botenya Go Juju Biti. Shakti King Watawama Mulira. King Kun Jope Shock. Tonghait Wamaji Ak Inkokun. Tonghait Sax Wamaji. Yuma Litba Ak Inkokun. Patoga, ya fulki kokola jiji. Tong hai saks wamaji. Sharji king watawama mulira. Yuma liba ak inkokun. Don king ba no kunnek. Din kuin kuya. Yuma liba ak inkotun.
Dahu babotenya go juju piti. Sharji king watawama mulira. King kun jobe shock. Tong hai wamaji ak inkotun. Tong hai saks wamaji.
Tong hai saks wamaji. Yuma liba ak inkokun. Chiska to suki guban bona naekachu. Kuya mi jus svilia. Tong hai saks wamaji. Yuma liba ak inkokun batu konchi yutuka luang. Kuya mi jus svilia. Tong hai saks wamaji. Yuma liba ak inkokun.
Dahu babotenya go juju piti. Sharji king watawama mulira. King kun jobe shock. Jobaso. Itu and pinky. King kun jobe shock.
Uba batu konchi yutuka luang. Kuya mi jus. Sharji king watawama mulira. Yuma liba ak inkokun. Dahu babotenya go juju piti. Din kuin kuya. Jika jitiman. Patoga ya fulki kokola jiti. Jobaso, Itu and Pinky, King Kun Jope Shop. Jobaso, Don King Bano Kunne. Uba Batu Konchi, Yutuka Halua.
Chiska, do punta grita, do banaoda vokasa. Don king bano kunnek, chiska to suki kuban bona naikachu. Ka wanabota ayua tagwa kenki dora. Yuma lifa hakin kotun.
Takum just tak Mickey Grabbelmogo.
Don king bano kunnek. King kun jobe shock. Yuma lifa hakin kotun. Jobaso. Itu and pinky. King kun jobe shock.
Takum just tak Mickey Grabbelmogo. Kachichu ita bodunga.
Don king bano kunnek. Chiska to suki kupan bona naikachu. Tong hai eldas wamaji.
Jodo jitbunga rantang.
Ka wanabota ayua tagwa kenki dora. Chiska to suki kuban bona naikachu. Jobaso. Don king bano kunne.
Shi gratu loda.
Labora ni winki. Smatoma. Ka wanabota ayua tagwa kenki dora. Yuma kun. Tong hai wamaji ak inkotun. Don king bano kunne. Tong hai saks wamaji. Yuma liba ak inkokun. Revan jilai kunka. Revan no mulira. Chona mulira. Tong Revan. King bano kunnek lorda. Chiska. Do punta grita. Do banaoda vokasa.
Kachichu ita dundonga. Nita poe tikito.
Jobaso. Itu and pinky. King kun jope shop. Tong hai saks wamaji. Yuma liba ak inkokun. Chiska to suki kupan bona naikachu. Chiska. Do punta grita. Do banaoda vokasa.
Mucho shak vakat.
Chiska, do punta kita, do panaota vocasa.
Statement. Oh, do shut up, you beeping little trash compactor. Query. Indeed, I was unaware that the navicomputer was locked. Statement. This is all the more important since during my routine inspection of all potential escape routes from this vessel, I made an interesting discovery. Commentary. I am experiencing something unusual. My programming is activating my deleted memory core. I believe I have a homing system that is restoring it. It seems that the homing system deliberately restores my deleted memory core upon returning to my original master, Darth Revan. Statement. It is a distinct pleasure to see you again, Master. Of course I do, Master. T3, there is much we should discuss.
Chiska du sukikumpa na bona na gachu, ag tu inkotu. Topa da bunkwalya gandonago chuchut, yalamo inkotpun, jiloba mulirani bobo.
Chan shak pulara.
Uba patu kochi, tong nongbong shang nungyang, tong patok smaktelia.
Takom jus tak miki grabalmogo.
Chiska du sukikumpa na bona na gachu, ag tu inkotu. Topa da bunkwalya gandonago chuchut. Kabachi kuita hodonga. Yalamo inkotpun.
Chipikaza.
Uba patu kochi. Tong nongbong shang nungyang. Tong patok smaktelia. Chiska du sukikumpa na bona na gachu. Ag tu inkotu. Topa da bunkwalya gandonago chuchut. Wanakumbes chingpa marulira. Tok chingbang non kek. Chiska du sukikumpa na bona na gachu. Ag tu inkotu. Topa da bunkwalya gandonago chuchut. Uba patu kochi. Tong nongbong shang nungyang. Tong patok smaktelia.
Chan shak pulara. Umrao cheese kaduchi.
Ragota yemi bagra. Pushul nun wiwanki. Genajukta jun nikata. Muschina sobrin monchi chorto bareta mi.
Bogra wala no tumba cha.
Dolo shursa. Jaso non indata. Chugusha konti chubatune bogra. Ramo e bosu butu. Krajina ramshi bago chima bashak. Kortapak. Terso bagra chusaniji reka yuta korva duchi rakoya la latamasa chukolosh.
I see. Then it is as I had feared. I may have trouble convincing the other miners that what you've discovered is actually the truth.
Bram tabanin sochu. Da come jusmak miki baranyeto so rika chondin. Wana magrable mogo. Yatuka wanrika chotin wanima orata wakata chiluma lispa.
Because we miners need to know what happened to our friends. My colleagues on the residential level are probably dead.
Tagra mancho china me bortan dorchugos?
500 credits and the thanks of every miner within this facility.
Kosdotha yitogan. Teni rika cho wendido chokyakta. Tarika jisun nichekonatu. Lord Chamak, Ragiso Nantek.
I am Burlock Lee, one of the miners employed by Zerka to work in the catacombs around Dresde.
Konat kone kilichana dimaka sako, chira no nemi gorta.
Akupa chekopa?
I know this may be asking much. They say the workforce down here has been driven insane, that they've started attacking each other for no reason. I must deliver the truth to my colleagues.
Natipon ng kudu jijiba.
Noga wispo dumpa mowendo, ita wanki soba chenga kulia di kanke krodnengo sangra. Chubolia na chunoga uramo ni unbash, geska yuntamos cheska, ganim mamba do shukoron. Krawi keset?
Topa yung pache on jone jik yokkolawish.
Daruni mishochok hirembe nortakun, chuba sor tegani. Kashum daska chimoro riki, torbaba sot rekochotag. Kota por lala batese, chida, mo sora win barocha.
Kun kili no ba!
And that, I am pleased to say, is where I come in. Target acquired? Combat is nice, but the stalking of prey is far more enjoyable. Commentary. It is not possible to destroy the Master. Organic meat bags have such delicate staminas.
Moga shampongpa bolawan na chikni.
Well, it should suffice to say that my systems have been altered plenty already. I mean, to simply give away trade secrets in such a way? Why, to think that there would be other versions of me would be unacceptable.
Tonk nabung shanun yang.
No.
Tongabug sham uninong?
Answer. I served on Revan's side during the Jedi Civil War, just as you did against the Mandalorians.
Wanga kun beast king bamulira. Takom justak miki grabel mogo.
Answer as you wish, Master.
Pamuleslik mo poda na wanga kun beast mulira best. Tonghay tuam jiji yumalit pa ang yingkotu. Tongabug siyam uninong? Wanga kun Beast King bamulira.
Statement. And I mean, we can deal with them once and for all. Observation. Now that is the Master I remember.
Kun kili no ba!
Even when you at last learned of the truth behind your march to war and the sacrifice of identity which later followed, you still chose Revan over me. Why? Is Revan's grip over you still that strong? Does his manipulation still run that deep?
Mana tota hakuji krala bolaji chok shuntang shun kipa unapanka muliri kon kili no ba.
As many as is necessary, Shauna May. I don't expect you to understand what drives me in my pursuit of vengeance. Revenge is a concept that is unique to the individual, and we both know now that identity was something you sacrificed a long time ago to Revan's cause.
Tonga boksha nagnong kin kun shin kin Nikin kun na bule mule raji kun. Chuni yun ni Gigi aldwana. Kava volpa muli kumana.
Suffering is wrought through conflict, and conflict builds character.
Kavadumpa kapalia monapata. Bonanakachu. Yin kin kun no ba mule rachi kun. Tong na bun shanuyang. Kakin cha na kwat na bon kon. Wanakumbes. Chi pala mulek. Tong ki pa nagnonek. Tu nikton chun ke nemolek rabest. Wufmala nibokurk. Bonanakachu. Kicha badwang. Wanga kum kiba bu mulera kakin.
You have no right to presume what she would wish. You abandoned her long ago. I am the only one who honors her memory. I am the only one who has not forgotten her. As Revan once claimed the life of my apprentice, so too will I claim the life of his. I will deny him the tool of war that he has shaped from the child that was once my protege.
Kipuna, bonana kichu, kin ba mulera dwana, don kin ba no kudnok nek, kavanumpa kumpialia monokata, ranga kun bis kin no moruat, kakin chana guana bokon.
The Arcanian? He was nothing more than a failed Padawan. He had nothing to offer you, nothing to teach you. It would be a waste of your efforts to seek vengeance for one so unworthy.
Tangabun shan omnang. Wanga kun bis kin ba mularak choni yun tun Gigi ida dwana. Kava volpa mulji gumana. Kipuna na bonsha.
It is said that Jedi embrace serenity as a way of life. Yet for we Ichani, it is battle that lay at the heart of our beliefs. And it was battle that called to her as the Mandalorian Wars ravaged a weakened galaxy. But she opened her heart to this calling without considering the consequences. She was manipulated by the one she followed and then transformed from an individual into a tool of war without an identity to call her own. She was Shauna May, no longer. I would ask of you to prepare yourself, but it is in your own best interest to seek a release from the torments of your life. You who is without identity seek release through death.
Kun kili no ba, wati monyala kona una kun mulira.
Shadow, claim your prize of flesh.
Do you feel it? The growing anger, the rage, and the power it brings.
I can feel it.
This place is strong in the Force. Guard your feelings closely, they may betray you here. From such small things, from such critical points, the universe and its masses may be moved.
Lies.
Not all techniques in the Force are learned through practice and training. This is something instinctual, born from experience.
You think so, do you?
I know many things. What you heard was the echo of the past, and it travels still.
Revan.
It was said that Revan intended to return to Korriban to subdue any potential Sith insurgents. But Revan suddenly departed, leaving both his destination and reasons for leaving a mystery. By aiding him, you have only weakened him. There is much that he has forgotten. He is one who has learned the greatest of the Sith teachings, and it enslaved him. Korriban attacks the spirit and the body, and there have been few who can fight its power. It was difficult to draw you here, but it had to be done. His path is set. Why did you do such a thing?
You don't understand.
The Force binds all things. The slightest push, the smallest touch, sends echoes throughout life. He was at a moment of crisis, a moment of indecision. Even an act of kindness may have more severe repercussions than you know or can see.
The Jedi Council have been using me. They were exploiting my battle meditation for their own use.
I see. The Force is powerful, but overestimating its utility is dangerous. You are not a Jedi, not truly. I would examine the situation as a whole, all of its ties to the Force, and then decided which string to pull, not sever them all at once. Such crude methods grant you nothing. The ability to heal is also the ability to harm. And the inability to heal what is damaged can also bring about harm. What if by surviving another day he brings a greater darkness upon another?
What is this?
I am but a mirror whose only purpose is to show you what your own eyes cannot yet see. Have you never asked yourself how Revan took the Republic and Jedi beneath him, how he made them his?
And what was the cost?
Ah, but to make officers turn on their own people, to bomb innocent worlds, to make pacts. Strong influence indeed. It is because he remembered what lay buried here, this place, its teachings. Much is buried here, and there is much that should remain buried. I had hoped you would follow Revan's path, but you and Revan are different, and your path is your own. But you know this. How does it feel to inspire such love?
How did you know?
If a Jedi could find it within themselves to spare one who has fallen so far. It was Revan's choice as well. He cannot help but love you in his way. It is a pure, ideal love he holds, yet somehow it never dulls in your presence or through your actions. Yes, it is all that is left unsaid upon which tragedies are built, more echoes traveling through the Force. Whether mercy or lust, we have time for neither, and such passions are not strength but erosion. Such a union would breed difficulties.
Yes, Master. I am certain you are correct. Now that we have what we came for, I do hope we will be leaving this world soon. Statement. Of course I do, Master. Until the end. Answer. Oh, who knows, Master? Sith protocols maintain that all droid knowledge be deleted before assassination missions and restored upon return. The repercussions of even the smallest lives, whether dead or alive, can have profound implications on history. But surely you realize this. Your single life changed the face of the galaxy, of history itself. Yes, Master. HK-47 is ready to serve. Statement. Master, before you go, is there someone that you need killed? I certainly hope it is not the T3 unit. Destroying him would provide little challenge. Affirmative. Conclusion. So it seems I need you, for the time being.
Strange? Perhaps. Perhaps not. The ability to fool the minds of others, to dominate them on a massive scale that you speak of, is not achieved best through raw power. But such manipulation is possible, yes. It requires that one be able to feel the critical point within the fractured mass, and know how to strike it in such a way that the echoes travel to your intended destination. It is but the vibration of minds driven by life's struggles, the struggle to feed, to take, to mate, to fight. It is the way of things. Events are shaping themselves about you, seeking to draw you into their center. Manipulation is done through propelling events, or selected ones, into motion. It is done through teaching, through example, and through conviction. And the greatest of victories are not manipulations at all, but simply awakening others to the truth of what you believe. You came close, and you have potential. This could have been handled with much more subtlety. You could have guided the situation to a better outcome.
Yes.
Do not mistake my tone. I was not faulting your choice. Far from it, I respect it. There are many who never learned such strength. You only wished what was best for him, and he cast it aside. He is the one to blame, to forsake such a gift. It is simply who you are, It is the human part of you. I feel that there is a lesson in such a thing. Perhaps you might have done more, but it is of no matter now. You have no choice in the matter.
Not anymore.
And when he awakened to his potential, I was there to see it. You thought that the corrupted remnants of the Republic, the machines spawned by technology that Revan led into battle, were the Sith? You are wrong. The Sith is a belief. And Revan knew that the true war is not against the Republic. It waits for us beyond the Outer Rim. It shall always be a source of evil, spawning threats throughout the millennia. Revan knew this. Turning away from that which tempts you or causes you fear is not strength. Facing it is. The Jedi Council was wrong, you know. All I have ever trained have been failures to them. I do not believe the Jedi Council changed Revan as they claimed. They merely stripped away the surface and allowed the true self to emerge again, someone who was willing to wage war to save others. You have bathed in the knowledge of the Sith, but there is not enough truth in such teachings, and there is something that the Council may never understand, that perhaps Revan never fell.
I have no doubt of that. I know the truth.
The difference between a fall and a sacrifice is sometimes difficult, but I feel that Revan understood that difference more than anyone knew. From here on, you guide your destiny. But in order to take the next steps, you must face your past and put it to rest. If you do not wish to hear it, then you will remain deaf to everything around you, and that shall be punishment enough.
I don't.
But the way lies past me, and if you wish to go, then you need to stop me.
I'll never fall to the dark side.
Dark energy fills these ruins, and even the fallen Sith live still.
No.
If you will not fight, then you will die. Good. You know it now. Apprentice.
Kipuna Nabonsha.
I do not need lessons in combat from you. The techniques you use even now are derived from my teachings that you are not worthy to practice.
Kavadumpa Kupaliyaya Mokarpata.
You are right. This is over. But do not think even for a second that Revan will emerge unscathed.
The dangers you faced in this tomb were real, but these images of the past serve to prepare you for your future. Surely you have felt what awaits.
Revan! But the Republic is doomed. Revan has returned. Who will now swear loyalty to the second coming of the Dark Lord? No. I wanted to help you, Revan. How else could you be saved?
Have you learned nothing? Healing is manipulation, and if you do not realize it yet, then you will discover that an act of healing depends largely on your perspective. When Revan left Korriban, the Sith Academy was thrown into turmoil. With their leader gone, many fought for the right to rule. And so, the Sith here turned on each other, resulting in the carnage you can see covering the surface of this valley. From the smallest of actions, the smallest of cruelties and kindnesses, great tragedies are made. The galaxy will bend itself only to those of strength and conviction. Instinctually, you know your true path. Trust in your feelings. They will lead you in conquering the many challenges that the future holds for you. One path will allow him to save his friends, but he shall be the weaker for it. The other route will lead him directly to this place. Are you ready?
No. This is not possible. You have rejected the dark side. The only Revan I could respect is the one who would break free of the Sith.
And know that that is the true lesson of strength, to turn away from strength that is not your own. If you care for others, then dispense with pity and sacrifice, and recognize the value in letting them fight their own battles.
As per my master's request, I shall detonate the explosives. 3.0 seconds remaining. 2.0 seconds remaining. 1.0 seconds remaining. Goodbye, Master.
Hindi haldong na chikong kabi. Kuya bijus kuna chik tanay. Ina kun mama rulira ra chikun.
Kipuna, bona na kichu. Kinba mulera dwana. Dong kinba no kudnok neck.
You are stronger than I had anticipated, but not strong enough. You will fall. It is inevitable.
Kabanumpa kumpiaya manakata.
What did you expect to find here? Forgiveness? You allowed the Mandalorian Wars to consume you, and as I warned, it changed you forever.
Kipuna na bonsha. Kabadumpa kupaliaya mokarpata.
You may fight using unfamiliar Sith techniques, but at its most basic of forms, your combat style is still Johnny. You cannot defeat me.
Kimba mulera dwana. Dong kimba no kudnok neck.
Wasn't strong enough to avenge her, to deliver her justice. I have failed myself. I have failed her.
Bona na kachu, kicha badwang.
Her name was Shauna May. She was a young child who I had rescued from a life of slavery on Sliheiron. I quickly recognized her potential in the Force, and so brought her into the Jedi Order as my first and only apprentice. Always was she eager to learn, devouring any knowledge that I imparted to her. She quickly grew into a formidable Jedi and a formidable woman. She abandoned me. She had forgotten the child on Sliheiron. Finally, your fate was something that you could control, something that you could decide. Why did you choose to follow Revan again?
Dopayumas pasen lapti non goto.
You are wrong. You never failed as my apprentice. It was I who failed as your teacher. I just couldn't bring myself to accept it, and instead allowed my pursuit of this false vengeance to consume me, to shape me into this creature of hate. I wasn't a harbinger of justice. I was only a vector for pain and misery. Jedi Master, Ijani Battle Master, I do not deserve such titles.
Wanga kumkiba bu mulera kakin chak nawagawa bakon. Donk kiba nukunek. Tanga boksha nagnong.
You didn't join the Mandalorian Wars and become a Sith out of choice. It was because of Revan's manipulations. You must accept that we are not the ones at fault here, as I have.
Choni yun tun Gigi either dwana. Kava vulpa mulji gumana?
No. From the very beginning, it was Revan. It was Revan.
Kakin cha na gwat na bon kon. Wanakumbes chi pala mulek. Tong ki pa nagnonek. Tu nikton chun chun ke nemolek rabest. Uf mala nibo kurk. Tanga bok sha nak nong. Kin kun shin kin. Nikin kun na bule mule raji kun. Shuni yun ni jiji aldwana. Kava volpa muli kumana. Shachika don mulaka wata yumaka wamahona nek. Ashantington unumani patoka. Wana kuna best chinga pala multonki.
The truth.
Ni bajoni yo lak wish. Dopayuma pasen lapti non goto.
No, not strength. These are just the revelations of a broken man, all too willing to cast the blame on others, yet keeping none for himself. At Terrace, it was the pursuit of vengeance that revived me, healed me, and granted a purpose to devote existence towards. Without it, I see now there is little left for me here. So then, Shadow, I ask of you, adhere to your master's will. Kill me. Kill me now.
Randi ichawa tongbola Johnny Ku. Yumawamanibo Lora Waisha Waga Shichi. Kunti chiwa mchawa. Dong abuk shami nonok.
Then as Shana May, the Jedi, the child on Sliheiron, do your master one final duty and end his corrupted life forever.
Hachu apanki, jishawa anibong kasha, chonasi, ichua byongbo joni, minamambato mule ra, hakugri katkota parabola.
Identity. It seems in these trying times its true meaning has become lost to me.
Chinapala mule, tonki ba non tontek, dunni chachon kun ne mule rabast. Yi ki kun no ba mula draki chichon. Ni bajoni yo lak wish, dopayuma pasen lati non goto. Bok wala no bok cha, kun green kanchan tu pro, nichi kun chuva kin lorta ika kun.
Kobayashi, that one is stronger than I had thought. He still lives, if only barely.
Bah muli selima wanga kun bikin.
Yes, he is still alive. He has not allowed death to claim him yet, and clings to life out of the single hope that he will see you again.
Ni bajoni yo lak wish, dopayuma pasen lapti non goto. Nichi kun chuva kin lorta ika kun.
Since Terrace, I have focused all my efforts on seeking a means to destroy. I have since forgotten what it feels like to concentrate my thoughts on restoration. It will be difficult, I think, but I will be stronger for it.
Tangabun shan omnang, wanga kun bis kin ba mularag.
Matilda, the child on Sliheiron, I was once your teacher. Now you are mine. A life without identity is no life worth living. So I will use what life I have left to heal Kobayashi. I do not do this to seek your forgiveness. See this only as a gift. From the last remnants of your old life to the new one that awaits you.
Kava volpa mulji gomana?
No, there is no more time for words. Every second I delay, Kobayashi comes closer to death. Bring him before me. I will do this now. This technique, I do not know for certain if it will be successful. Kobayashi may be too close to death.
Minamambato mule ra.
Hope. We shall see if it favors you, and if it favors him.
Kun kili no ba! Randi ichawa tongbola Johnny Ku.
Darius. A name I haven't heard from you in a long time. Not since you were a child. When I was a boy, I once heard an Echani proverb. Death smiles at us all. All a man can do is smile back. At least I have found a reason to smile.
Chi pala mulek, tong ki pa nagnonek, tu nikton chun ki nemolek rabest, uf mala nibo kurk.
Are you enjoying the view? I don't know if it's the near-death experience talking, but there is a tranquility here that is absent on the rest of Korriban. I hadn't noticed it until now.
Jishawa anibong kasha chonasi ichua byongbo joni, minamambato mule ra, hakugri katkotar parabola.
And Solomon, too, had a part to play. He chose to save the life of another at the expense of his own. I'm sure the Force took that as a cue to work its magic and rid this place of darkness, even if only for a time.
Randi ichawa tongbola Johnny Ku, Yumawamanibo Lora Waisha Waga Shichi.
That sounds like a tough battle, but I guess Echani were always a little crazy when it came to war.
Bona na kachu, kicha badwang, wanga kum kiba bu mulera, kakin chak nawagawa bakon.
I believe Mechanique is close to completing his scan.
Kuyabi just kuna chitanai.
So, are you ready, Shauna May?
Tanga bok sha nagnong, kin kun shin kin, nikin kun na bule mule raji kun, chuni yun ni jiji aldwana.
Then what do you want to be called? Kobayashi's already taken, if that's what you were thinking.
Tong abuk shami no nok. Watuyama kama wuna henak nek, bugra shak kunti chiwa chawa, dong abuk shami no nok. Tong abuk sha nagnong, kin kun shin kin, nikin kun na bule mule raji kun. Kakin cha na kwat na bon kon, wanakumbes, chi pala mulek, tong ki pa nagnonek, rundi ichawa tong bola Johnny Ku, Yumawama nibo Lora Waisha Waga Shichi, Wufmala nibo Gurk, Tong abuk sha nagnong, Tong abuk shami no nok. Chinapala mule, tong ki ba non tontek, tunni chachon kun ne mule brabast. Jishawa anibong kasha chonasi ichua byongbo joni, slimjo puanwan dwana. Hakugri katkotar parabola. Wanga kun bist kin ba mulara choni yun tun jiji either dwana. Kava vulpa mulji gumana? Wana kuna best chinga pala multonki. China pala mule, tonki ba non tontek, tunni chachon kun ne mule brabast. Jishawa anibong kasha chonasi ichua byongbo joni. Minamambato mule ra. Hakugri katkota la parabola. Ashantington unumani patoka. Wana kuna best chinga pala multonki. Bona na kachu. Kicha badwang. Wanga kumkiba bu mule ra. Kakin chak nawagawa bakon. Donk ki ba nukunek. Rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny ku. Yumawama nibo lora waisha waga shichi. Slimjo puanwan dwana. Tanga boksha nagnong kin kun shin kin ni kin kun na bule mule raji kun kava volpa muli kumana. Jishawa anibong kasha chonasi ichua byongbo joni. Minamambato mule ra. Hakugri katkota la parabola. Chinapala mule. Tonki ba non tontek. Chika ton mulaka watayumaka wamahona nek. Yi ki kon no ba muladraki chichon. Rundi I chawa tongbola Johnny ku. Yumawama nibo lora waisha waga shichi.
Kuyabi jus kuna jiktanai. Pina kun mama rulira rachikun. Slimo patona. Mundi hadonga chihonkabi.
Hakuji kopa? Jino mularak kampiak. Slimjo puanwan dwana.
I guess that leaves me. Although I hope it doesn't turn me into the whining, moaning piece of bantha fodder that you are, Mechanique. I'm just too vibrant a person to become that monster.
Chinapala mule. Tonki ba non tontek. Tuni chachon kun ne mule rabast.
You've succeeded in this trial. I am impressed. Take care not to give in to vanity and arrogance. The broken corpses before you are all that remain of the Sith on Korriban. His death left a great vacuum of power. But supposedly he created a holocron to teach his technique to other Sith.
This is the way of the Sith.
Yes, it is the way of the Sith. They must continually test their strength against each other. He knew he must leave all loves behind as well, no matter how deeply one cares for them. That was Revan's way, I believe.
What?
If he leaves this place, he will leave the galaxy behind him.
No.
There is nothing holding you here. Not any longer. Sith is a title, yes, but like you, the title is not who I am. It is not what I believe. For you, it is different. But there must always be a Darth Treya, one that holds the knowledge of betrayal, who has been betrayed in their heart, and will betray in turn. And that is why I must leave you.
Wait.
You felt it, did you not?
Revan! But... I wanted to help you, Revan.
No. This war is far from over. It would have helped had he made her understand, but she was always strong-willed, that one, and did not understand war as Revan did. You know where you must travel, and there I shall be waiting for you.
I sense you, my master. Faint, weak.
I'm surprised you can feel it. I feared the damage to you had deadened you to such perceptions.
They are all dead.
It was as I thought. You have failed me. Completely and utterly.
The failure is yours.
To have fallen so far and learnt nothing, that is your failing.
What is thy bidding, my master?
You are to do nothing. Korriban shall be as it always was. A graveyard for the darkest of the Sith Lords, still whispering within their tombs. I shall teach you no longer. Stay here and die, apprentice.
Why?
Let that pain be a lesson and a reminder of what you have forgotten. It is my last lesson to you.
Master, no matter how many I killed, there was no end to the pain.
You were my last hope. The only one who could avert the disaster that comes, and now you have left me nothing. It is a fitting grave until the Sith come to end you. You simply did not learn the lesson I sought to teach.
Master.
I have cut my bond to you. I have no need of it any longer.
It is fitting you came here. This planet is a graveyard for your kind. It is not mercy. What awaits you will weaken you. She thinks you should be spared, but only so you might suffer. After all that has happened, still you live. I did not summon you. Why have you returned? You were a fool to return. My betrayal was another test. I have passed and I have become stronger for it. You were once Jedi, and you care nothing for those of the Sith. I have come farther than any of her apprentices since Revan, even you. Why she would bother with one such as you is something I will never understand. Did what with all your power you could not do. Now you realize the true power of the dark side. The power of the dark side is what holds me together. Many times have I been near death, and always have I been in pain. But you cannot kill me. I cannot die. You know nothing of her teachings, nothing of the pain. I know your teacher. She clings to hope that perhaps she can train one as great as her first. I know her as an apprentice knows their master. I can end it before it begins. You are strong, I cannot see as she does, but I know that in time you shall surpass her power. She knows this. Those are the words of Jedi. Jedi who over thousands of years have never turned from power, from inflicting their will on the galaxy. The only weakness is not seizing it when it lies before you. But you do not know her as I do. You have not survived her teachings as I have. If you go before her, you will be broken. Turn aside then. Deny her what she wants. Preserve yourself. The Lord Revan had the galaxy at his feet, could have made it strong, and he surrendered it to weakness. The chance to heal this fractured galaxy, and he turned away. Our chance at an empire, destroyed by Revan. It does not matter. If we were to challenge her, her weakness is you. Surrender now. Return to the surface of Malachor. There is more. It is ancient. It has been here for thousands of years, far before the Mandalorian Wars. I was there when the Academy on Korriban fell, and the Sith turned on one another like beasts. Many Jedi have been consumed by it. It draws death and hate to it, channels it. Atrocities feed its power, and with its power, it creates hunger. It drew Lord Revan, and it calls to her as well. She has earned this. I want her to die and see all that she has built cast down. Return to Malachor, or go through me. There is no middle ground.
It has been some time.
You are a wretched thing. A thing of weakness and fear. I am the master.
You would challenge me? There are techniques within the Force against which there is no defense.
Our alliance is finished. I have no need of you. I have never needed you.
I was cast down, stripped of my power. Now it ends, and the darkness comes.
The circle closes. The end begins. You dissipated your energy saving the weak. There are consequences. My life spans millennia. Legions have risen to test me. You are a blind insect, contemplating the void of space. Your striving is insignificant.